Hey everyone, welcome back to Mood Roulette. My name's Marley.
And I'm Grace.
And if you're new here, every week Grace and I listen and rate to different albums that we like or ones we never listened to. We go into the history, the artist, and all kinds of inspiration behind the album and its songs. Today's album we're going through is Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Since it's Rock Week and all, it's only fair to cover one of the most iconic albums of all time. And I also thought it was fitting since the Artemis 2 launch was this week.
Yeah.
Right? And
literally yesterday, I think.
Yeah, literally. For the first time since Apollo 17 in 1972, humans have departed Earth, right? And I love the fact that everyone's comparing them to the Fantastic Four. That everyone's comparing them to the Fantastic Four, and that they're gonna come back with powers. And I agree. I think that's amazing.
This is what our generation has come to. That's actually kind of insane.
And you know what? If they do, hit me up. I'm sure Grace would be a great PR manager for you.
Hell yeah.
And I'll make your movies. And I'm excited. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, shout out my dad, that's my dad's name, are now on a precise trajectory towards the moon. During a planned flyby on Monday, April 6th, the astronauts will take a high-resolution photograph and provide their own observations of the lunar surface, including areas from the dark side of the moon.
They better be listening to the album.
I mean, they gotta.
Yeah.
The runtime is 42 to 43 minutes, but it feels shorter, almost. The tracks are Speak to Me, Breathe in the Air, On the Run, Time, The Great Gig in the Sky, Money, Us and Them, Any Color You Like, Brain Damage, and Eclipse. Now, they all kind of have a runtime of about 4 minutes, except for
three of them.
A couple. There's one with I think 7. I think it's Us and Them, but
yeah, it's
whatever.
Time, Money, and Us and Them. Don't worry, I got that on lock.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at a song and you're like, oh my god?
Well, my thing is I listen to a lot of long songs. I listen to Taylor Swift, she has All Too Well 10-minute version, although I don't listen to that as much right now, but Harry Styles has a lot of long songs. So I kind of looked at it and I was like, okay, long songs can go one of two ways. It can be really boring for 7.5 minutes, or it can hold your attention. And the ones that hold your attention, they're always such good songs.
There's some songs that I listen to from the 70s or late or early 80s, and it's Body Rock, The Treasures 3, oh my god, that one is 10 minutes, and it's literally them just saying rock the body, rock the body.
That would drive me crazy.
For 10 minutes, I'm okay, I can do 3 minutes of this.
Yeah, that's too much.
And Grandmaster Flash, The Message, it's a great song, but it goes on for way too fucking long.
Yeah.
Rapper's Delight, oh my god, don't even get me started. The members include the lead guitarist Syd Barrett, but by 68, Barrett, who had overused LSD and was struggling with schizophrenia, was replaced with the guitarist David Gilmour. The bassist and lead vocalist Roger Waters, which he's very famous, but it's always the front man. Always the fucking front man. The drummer Nick Mason, and the keyboard player Rick Wright. That's a tongue twister.
Say that name 3 times.
Oh my god, I can't. No.
Rick White.
Waters' tendency for the perfectionism and control increasingly strained his relationship with the other band members, which ultimately led to his departure from the band after the release of their, I think, last album together in 83, The Final Cut. Don't listen to it, it sucks.
Okay.
Formed in 1965, the band went through several name changes before combining the first pairs of the names of Carolina Bluesmen, Pink Anderson and Floyd Council, which I feel naming your kid Pink is a little odd. Imagine if you look at it, you're Pink.
I wanted to name my sister Strawberry Ice Cream.
Right. But these are grown adults.
Yeah, my sister would have been a grown adult at one point.
No, I mean these parents were grown adults naming their children Pink.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were 4?
I was 4, nice job.
Oh my god. They signed with EMI, and early in 67, they had their first British hit with the controversial Arnold Lane. This was followed by their debut album, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, a lush experimental record, which is very, on brand for them. Piper climbed into the top 10 on the UK charts and remained in the top 100 for 19 weeks. Barrett wrote or co-wrote, not sure which one, but he definitely did something on one of the tracks on this album, which is considered to be one of the greatest psychedelic rock albums of like the 70s, 60s, which I agree. But by the release of Animals in 77, it was clear that I think it was kind of clear that Waters had become the band's like dominant influence. Like he was very bossy, very like, we're doing this way, which can put a strain on a band, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But whatever. There was increasing internal conflict with Pink Floyd. They kind of turned into a band that didn't really like each other. They were just kind of making music, you know.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, basically. It's
Which
like,
we should also cover them next season.
True. They kind of had a sense of alienation from like both one another and just society. It was kind of shown by the tour in 79 for The Wall, which a real brick wall was built by the tour. So imagine if you're like going to a concert and like you're like, oh my god, I'm so excited for this concert, and there's just a wall, like you can't see anything. Like
I'd be so pissed.
Oh my god, like, but like the tickets were like what, $5 back then, so I'd be like, I'd be a little pissed off, but whatever.
I'd be so mad.
But yeah, so it was built between the group and the audience during the performance, and I think after, like at the end, it'd all come crashing down. So it was like symbolism, but like, isn't that what, like, concerts are not supposed to do that, bro?
Yeah.
Like what? After the final cut, the album, Pink Floyd kind of became like inactive, and a lot of legal troubles over the ownership of the band name. Roger Waters kind of dismissed Wright after The Wall, which bad fucking move, bitch. Bad move. And he took over most of the songwriting and was even in more control, right? And we don't need that from you. He's already in more control as it is. Like, we don't need you to be writing all the fucking songs. But as a result, the band split. Waters is kind of on his own right now, and he's doing very well, which is insane. He should be solo anyways, because he was basically solo all of Pink Floyd. Whatever. But Gilmore, Mason, and Wright reunited, continuing as Pink Floyd in the late 80s. They released 2 albums, including A Momentary Lapse of Reason in 87, and The Division Bell in 94. I actually do like The Division Bell, low-key, like I do. While Waters pursued a solo career, he's kind of known for his politics, and not in a good way. So they kind of don't talk to him anymore, which is great for them, but kind of sad. They reunited for a single performance at the Live 8 benefit concert in 2005, and they used later recordings made with Wright, who died in 2008, to create what they said was the final Pink Floyd album, The Endless River, in 2014, which we'll see. But they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 96. So that's cool. Oh, and if you haven't already, keep voting for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. I'm voting for Billy Idol, and I'm also voting for Wu-Tang. So,
love
anyone else? I just feel like Billy Idol needs to be in there. Like, he has to. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He is rock and roll. Some fun facts I figured I'd share. Pink Floyd joined the UK Jimi Hendrix package tour, which began in mid-November in 67. Can you imagine that concert? Jimi Hendrix Experience and Pink Floyd. I would die. It's like my wet dream. In December, however, the band had to bring in their friend David Gilmour to cover for Barrett, whose erratic nature was compromising the band's ability to perform. In January of 68, Barrett played his final gig with Pink Floyd. The band had hoped he would continue on as a songwriter, but ended up officially parting ways with him in March that year. This tour actually introduced electric theater. Like, you know how like, you go to concerts and there's like a bunch of like strobe lights and shit? Pink Floyd did that for you. Say thank you. Featuring...
I don't really like the strobe lights, but it's okay. They give me a headache.
It features like large circular screens and quadraphonic sound. So, if you like that, you better thank them because they did that for you. The plane sound effect on The Run was so realistic that reportedly it made the band members duck on stage.
That's insane. That's actually insane.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, oh my god. So I didn't think it was that realistic, but okay.
I didn't think it was either.
But I guess it was like what, the 70s, so
Yeah, so like the technology wasn't where it is now.
I don't know. So the album name was originally titled Eclipse, a piece for assorted lunatics. It was after Medicine Head released another album called Dark Side of the Moon in 72.
Oh.
So imagine like you're like working on this album and someone else names it after like your album.
That would, yeah.
Like, so they were like, okay, I guess we have to change it to this shit, right?
Yeah.
But I think they kept an homage with the outro song being Eclipse. So they kind of like was like, oh. My dad called me last night and he's like, oh my god, when you like play the Wizard of Oz movie and on the third roar of the lion in the very beginning, you know, you start this album.
Like
and
the
you,
MGM
I think
line?
so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And basically like you start the album and you just put it on loop and it syncs up with the entire movie if you put it on mute. But it only really works if you're on mushrooms.
Right.
So, yeah, so it was a popular urban legend. And I think, unfortunately, David Gilmour refuted the claim. But my dad swears by it, that when he was doing his thing, he swore it synced up great. So, who knows?
Maybe we should watch it sober.
Maybe it's just like... right. Maybe it's just like the... Like, I don't know, maybe it's just like being on drugs and you're like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, Pink Floyd has a film. The 1982 film called The Film.
Wow.
I think it's just another brick in the wall, but whatever. It's directed by Alan Parker and features, I'm gonna fuck this up, but Bob Geldof as Pink.
Sure.
He plays Pink. He plays...
What was his first name?
Bob, Geldof.
Oh, he's Irish.
Of course he is, they all are.
And he's 74 years old.
Mm.
He was in a group called Band-Aid and the Boomtown Rats.
I actually love that. Band-Aid, that's awesome. But yeah, so he played Pink, and it kind of is like a story of just like Pink going through...
He went against Queen playing out at Live Aid.
Oh,
in the 80s.
That's cool.
He said that they peaked and they shouldn't play. That's insane. That's a bad look on him.
Well.
Anyways, keep going.
He played Pink, and Pink was just like, I actually don't know the plot of the movie, but like, he apparently like was like struggling with stuff, and they made a film about it. And it doesn't have like a lot of dialogue, I don't think. It just has like limited dialogue, but it relies on music and imagery from Gerald Scarfe, I think his last name is. I might have butchered that, whatever. To showcase the descent into insanity and fascist imagery. So that's cool.
Interesting.
Some history and inspiration for the album. It was conceived, I like that word, conceived, by Roger Waters. Oh my god. It was conceived by Roger Waters in 71. And they aim to create a cohesive concept album rather than a collection of songs, you know? Like something that people can actually like enjoy as an album as a whole, which I love.
Yeah.
Like when it's not just like a collection of songs, it's like it's actually an experience, you know? It was developed and performed live under titles like Eclipse months before studio recording even began, which is very popular in the 70s and the 80s. They did that a lot, like to kind of just like test the waters and see if they'd be popular.
Yeah.
Nowadays you could not do that. But yeah, because no one had cameras, no one can leak anything. It was just like word of mouth.
Yeah.
I long. It was recorded at EMI Studios, which is now Abbey Road.
Ooh.
In London during 2 sessions in
Harry Styles recorded there.
Right. Well, it's very famous. So. But it was done in 2 sessions in 1972 and 1973. So this album took a long time to make.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it features seamless transitions, which I think is a heavy component. Like, I don't know if you were listening to it the way I was, but I literally forgot that I was listening to different songs because they like blend so well.
Yeah, I had that moment. Although my Spotify last night was low-key tweaking because it would like normally transitions are seamless, and there were points last night when it would like stop and then start.
No,
Like,
yeah, mine does that too. Yeah,
And I was like, this is so weird because normally it doesn't do that. Like, so I knew they were supposed to be seamless transitions, but my Spotify was limiting me.
Yeah, they were. Oh my god, I that's one of my favorite things on this album, because like you will start, like say you start Eclipse, and it starts at like the beginning starts at the end of the last song.
Yeah.
Every song in this album starts at the end of the last song, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen that before. Maybe I just have been listening to crap music, who knows?
Well.
Right. It includes advanced tape loops and techniques, which we've seen before in Beastie Boys, and interviews with the road crew. So it's very famous that Roger Waters wanted to like include spoken word and like word of mouth in this album. So you'll hear in a lot of songs like people talking, and it's literally Rogers going around interviewing people, being like, "What's your favorite color?" And they'll be like, "I don't know, red," and boom, it's in the song. So, and Peter Watts, the road manager, laughing. So it's just him going around, and then he put it in because they were all on LSD, and they thought that was cool.
I mean, go for it.
Fun fact: it remained on the U.S. Billboard charts for 741 consecutive weeks, over 14 years, becoming one of the best-selling albums in history.
That's actually insane.
Yeah. I talked a little bit about Syd Barrett's mental health. Unfortunately, I think he's doing better now. He might be dead, who knows? If not, he's old. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think this album is heavily influenced by him. It's kind of dedicated to him and his mental health.
Hey, so he died in 2006.
Right.
I think this is the guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, died in 2006, July 7th.
Damn.
I wasn't even born yet. He was 60.
He was 60?
He was born in 1946.
Oh my god. But yeah, this album is heavily influenced by Syd Barrett's mental health and insanity and isolation and alienation. So it's just kind of like a homage, you know? I think Waters aimed for direct lyrics, you know?
Yeah.
To like kind of just emphasize the meaning on society. It's very punk in a way. I clocked it.
You have a theme.
It's very punk in a way because it's like it's telling you how the world sucks. And low-key,
I feel like that's just music in general.
Maybe we're sensing a pattern.
I feel like, except for like next week, I feel like most of our albums are gonna be like, you people suck.
Because most of them I pick, so it's just music. Maybe that's why I'm so depressed. Because it's just like listening.
Did you really pick that many? I guess you did.
Well, because you were like, oh, it's this week. What are we picking? And I was like, oh my god, we have to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it focuses on anxiety, greed, and the unrelenting passage of time in modern society, as Roger Waters says.
Thank you, Roger.
He says this album is about the things that make people mad. Cook.
Love.
Snaps. The band brainstormed themes centering around the pressures they faced as a band and the human experiences of mortality. So like fear of death and it like a lot of the tracks that you see on the album, it's kind of like about things that control us as people, like time, right?
Yeah.
And money. You know, you're a fool if you don't think money plays into your life. It always does.
Always.
We do have to talk about the iconic album cover, okay? Which I actually just realized like what it actually is, you know?
Isn't it it's a prism that bends light?
Yeah, that's like what happens in the sky. That's why the sky's blue.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Me and Amaya figured that out the other day.
Did you guys not like pay attention in science class? This is like 6th grade science.
Right. I guess not. Well, also my science class, like we didn't have like 6th grade science. We had 7th and 8th grade science. And that was during COVID. So I didn't learn anything.
Your school always shocks me. I don't think your school's real.
Right, well, whatever. Some people say it's a cult.
I don't think you went to school, Marley.
Honestly, if I took a test right now, it would seem like
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
No.
We can do that later.
Oh, God.
We can play the Are You Smarter Than a 5th grader
Please don't.
quiz.
The prism spectrum was chosen for its quote-unquote simple and bold look, which he says that it represents the band's lighting, the album themes, and apparently Richard Wright's request for a quote cleaner image, which I think is stupid. I literally just think it is cool. And I think it's really iconic. It's so iconic.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane that they just had this, like, idea, and then, boom, you know? Oh, my God.
Should we get to the tracks?
Yeah, okay. Trust me. Last little fun fact before we get into
You're
the
like,
tracks.
I'm going to give some fun facts. We've been sitting here for, like, 15
Just
minutes.
last one, trust. The Dark Side of the Moon ultimately act as a message to the listener, facing the dangers of modern existence and finding humanity. That's why I'm saying, like, speak to me, breathe. Like, it's just kind of the things that we need to live.
Yeah.
You know, money, time, air. So, getting into the tracks, Speak to Me is the first track. What did you think, Grace?
Loki thought my Spotify was glitching because silence. I wrote it's giving number 29. Back-to-back albums with just silence. I like the heartbeat sound. I think it's a good way to kind of start off the album, especially with what you just talked about, with how it's kind of talking about everything that we need. Like, you know, you do need a heartbeat to live, in case you didn't know.
Really?
You didn't take 6th grade science, so you wouldn't know.
Right, thank you.
I like the slow build. There's, like, talking in the background sounds, which I like. The laughter was really creepy. I gave it a 1.5 out of 5.
Right, I give it a 3.
There's nothing in it.
I think it's the best intro ever known to band. The heartbeat and the added in pieces from the upcoming songs is amazing. It's like a little taster.
Okay, well, I didn't know that, so.
No, it's like I was like, oh my God, I'm hearing all these
I was
things.
listening to it and I was like, this is.
It's like a little sampler. Like, oh, like this is everything you're going to get into. Like, that's beautiful. Love it. It serves as an introduction on the album's overarching themes, the pressure of time, greed and conflict, and the psychological journey towards madness. I like that you can hear the clocks in time, the cash register and money, the crazy laughter and brain damage, and the woman's scream in The Great Gate in the Sky. So they're all interwoven with the sound of a heartbeat, created by Roger Waters, and the recording of a kick drum. It's also played at the album's end, which kind of just suggests the continuous cycle. So, like, it's played now, and then at the end of Eclipse, it's also played. So then you can literally just loop the album, and it'll go in a whole cycle. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Number 2, Breathe in the Air.
I didn't know that the song had switched. I'll say that, because with the first one, I was kind of waiting for, like, you know, lyrics and instruments and, you know, everything that makes a song. So I didn't realize it switched, and then I switched to my Spotify. I was like, oh, this is going on for a really long time. And then I was like, oh, we fully switched tracks, which I really like. I like, you know, good transitions. The guitar, and I think it's a synth.
They used a lot of synths on this album.
Those are really good. I said they sound like a yoga instructor. They're like, breathe in the air.
Right.
It made me laugh. I'm just sitting there. Have you seen the High School Musical Bad Lip Reading? It made me think of the Can You Feel the Breeze Today? That's what it made me think of. It kind of sounds like what an out-of-body experience would sound like if you were high and had an out-of-body experience. That's what I think it would sound like. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Wow. So I give this song a 4.5 out of 5.
That's insane.
I just think it's so, like, serene, and it makes me feel so calm, and I think it's overall just beautiful. I think Roger Waters' voice could literally sing me to sleep. It feels like that, like, spacey kind of vibe, but, like, with, like, that blues structure, you know?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like, oh my God, I love this song. it's kind of
that's insane.
it's kind of like the combination of the guitar, but also like the lap steel, like, oh my god, how could you hate
I
this
think the
song?
production on it is good. It's just not.
I love the electric piano and the organ. It's great, and it serves as an invitation to kind of slow down and live a meaningful life rather than just existing or chasing material gains. It focuses on the transition from birth to the pressures of life, urging the listener to care, connect, and avoid the trap of the premature early grave.
Love.
So I think I feel like the Dark Side of the Moon, this whole album, I think it like goes through like life, like your phases of life.
Yeah.
So like Speak to Me would be like birth, breathe, also out of the womb, you know,
Fresh.
like it's like child, you know what I mean?
# fresh.
Right.
That's the title.
Right. Okay. Number 3, On the Run.
Yeah, after the last track, I said I didn't like the transition. I think it was just my Spotify tweaking. So, like, it's fine. I don't really have a say on it. I like there's, like, quicker drums, and then there's the guitar. Like, they do one strum, and they let it fade.
Mm-hmm.
Then they do another strum, and they let it fade. I really like that. I like the faster synth. There's more background sounds. It gave it, like, a sci-fi vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole album has this, like, sci-fi kind of vibe to it, which I really enjoyed. Here's my thing about most of this album. There are no vocals for a lot of it, which is fine. I listen to instrumental music. I listen to the piano guys. It's okay. I love breaking down lyrics. I'm a very vocal person. I focus on the lyrics in songs. I focus on the vocals in songs. Like, when I listen to the piano guys, I am singing the original song in my head. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So when we go for 3 tracks and there's been maybe a minute of singing, and singing is a rough term for 70s music, but, like, you know, there's a minute of vocals, it's like, meh.
It might be because I know that my close person friend Roger Waters, of course.
Yeah.
I know him, so I know
Yeah,
this.
close person.
But I know that he was like nervous and like scared of like singing because he like.
I mean, fair.
He was like Joe, you know, like he was like, my voice sucks, which it doesn't.
It doesn't. No, they're good vocalists in this band. It's just I would rather listen to music that has lyrics than not. That being said, I do like the crescendos and decrescendos in the production. Marley, what's that? What's a crescendo and decrescendo?
Like loud to quiet.
Yes.
And like quiet to loud.
Nice job. Yeah, because the music like swells and then it releases, which is like a super cool touch, and it gives it kind of a like orchestral vibe, because they do that a lot in like classical music and with orchestras. And the sounds go from the left to the right and right to left, which I also really liked because it felt like my head was spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Also, why are there bomb sounds? It sounds like bombs.
Well,
Why are there bombs? I gave it a 2 out of 5.
yeah, it's like about like kind of like war, you know, like it's just like it's the life sucks thing.
Yeah.
War sucks.
# bombs.
It represents anxiety, stress, and the paranoia of modern fast-paced life, specifically the fear of flying and travel. It serves as a kind of a bridge between breathe and time, kind of showing the rush that distracts from reality and leads to mental strain. It was originally called the travel sequence, which a lot of these songs were like the violent sequence, this sequence, whatever. I don't know, they're all weird. But it features
also very heavily on drugs.
True. It was the 70s for all.
Yeah.
It features electric sounds, running footsteps, heavy breathing, and it was explicitly designed by Richard White Hello? I can't say his name.
Richard White.
I literally can't say his name. Something's wrong with me. It was designed by Richard Wright to evoke the stress of air travel, and it's like widely like renowned as the prelude to time. So this song is like just a prelude to time.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of songs that we cover that are from like the 70s, 80s, maybe not the 80s, but like the 70s, 60s.
Mm-hmm.
They meant for you to listen to the entire album on record. And I've said this before.
Yeah.
I'll say it again.
Because there wasn't streaming.
Exactly. So I think albums are better back then because they put more into it. You know, nowadays I think it's just a compilation of shit. You know?
Yeah, I do like when albums nowadays, and I think my main example is the BTS one that we did last week, when it is cohesive and it makes sense.
I think this song is genuinely, if LSD was a song, this would be it. I think, I think it's great. It's bizarre, it's futuristic, it's alien. I'm loving the sped up 8-note sequence. Okay. It's heavily manipulated guitar and organ. I don't know, it's great. I gave it a 2.5.
Okay.
I think it's a good song, but it could be better, and I think if he wrote lyrics, it would be even better.
Yeah.
Fun fact, another one on this song. It ends with the sound of a plane crash, obviously. And when performed on tour, to promote Dark Side, Pink Floyd arranged for a huge model airplane to fly across arenas and crash into a rigged explosion.
That would have been sick as hell.
How cool is that?
That would have been. That
Imagine you're at a concert in the arena. There's like a big ass fucking plane, and it like it looked like it's like the top is uncovered, so it looks like the fucking plane is crashing into the stage.
That'd be sick as hell.
I know. I wish, bro. Time machine, man. Speaking of time machine, number 4.
I had a time machine.
Time.
Okay. I kept talking about the transitions. The transitions were good. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I said, okay, clocks, time, I get it. Like, I see the metaphor. I was a little overstimulated at the beginning of this song. I don't really know.
It gets you.
Like, I was just like, there's a lot happening.
Like,
and my
you
brain,
don't expect it, and then it happens.
Yeah, like, my brain can't keep up. And the whole album so far has been a lot of sounds. The drum fill leading to the lyrics, that was really cool. Like the guitar as well, obviously. Their vocals are very 70s. Like, if I were to hear this and, like, didn't know what year it came out, I'd been like, it's the 70s. Like, I also really like the guitar solo and the backing vocals. I just want more lyrics because I love the vibe that their vocals bring to the songs. I think that these songs can be so much better if they just wrote freaking lyrics. And I get that it's hard, okay? I understand. I made music at one point in my life too, okay? I was literally doing it last night. I have to do it later. I have to write a song later. It's difficult. But, like, put your brain to it, people. You were on LSD. It should have been easier.
Right.
But the song gives a very, like, chill yet existential vibe. Like, if you were to, like... I said it gave the feeling of, like, being high and those boys who were like, dude, we're just a speck on a floating rock. Like, having those, like, really deep thoughts while, like, high off your ass.
Right,
like,
yeah.
That's what this whole song, like, that's the vibe it gave me. Like, dude, we're just an ant in the grand scheme of things. Like, having these really deep thoughts that you think are original and yet they're just not. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Marley's gonna kill me after this.
So the beginning of this song, all the clocks and stuff, that's my iPhone alarm clock, by the way. So anything
that would scare the shit out of me.
Every time that I wake up, I get jolted awake, and it's even scarier than my Pitch Perfect one, where the Troublemakers sing "Whip It" to me when I wake up. So Amaya, I'm sorry for that, but Amaya hears it every single day. We should cover that next. Troublemakers album. I would listen to that. I think this song keeps you on your toes, you know, and definitely in the beginning it's a very long intro.
Yeah.
When I listen to it like just by myself, I kind of have to skip it a little bit just to kind of get it to play. It is long. I might have
skipped the end of it. I don't know, one of the long songs I skipped. Oh, it wasn't this one, it was the other one.
But yeah, I think it's just kind of like, I like that. I like that it keeps you on your toes, you know?
Yeah. Because
then it gets to the lyrics and you're like, okay, wait.
Yeah.
Yes, this is good. I said literally ascending whilst listening to the song. Like, I feel like I'm going up to heaven as this is playing. It's amazing. I think the backing vocals are seriously, I literally used the word angelic. I don't know what I was on last night, but...
LSD.
Right. This song is really, I think, slow, but in a good way. It's very dreamy.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's also really chaotic and messy, which I like.
Yeah.
I think it's a good mix
Like,
of both.
it's a weird contrast.
Are you ready for this rating?
Oh, no.
4.5.
Okay. Great Gig in the Sky. Okay.
This one's really iconic. Everyone knows this one.
Before I started listening to this album, like, I was looking at it, I was like, I've never heard any of these songs before. And even you told me, you were like, you know Great Gig in the Sky. And I started listening to it, I was like, I don't know this song. Like, hello, I've never heard this song before. And then you get to the, like...
The iconic part. But we'll get there in a second. I really like the piano. Mm-hmm.
I like that they incorporated piano because I don't think you would really get that in, like...
It's beautiful,
because it's a piano, like, ballad. Like, it's not, like...
No, and it's at the lead. It's, like, as the lead instrument.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I love it because you don't get that in rock music. They really like adding dialogue. Like, that LSD was strong, man. They really thought this was cool.
No, it's
and
like,
it's not.
yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just kind of like, okay, like, more
like,
talking.
when he was interviewing people and putting it in, he was like, "Oh, this is tough." But
Yeah.
he thought he was doing something.
Whoever's doing that high note and vocal riff, that's really good. I think I looked at her name is like Claire or something.
It's Claire
I looked
Torrey.
at it. She's incredible.
She actually, like, didn't. I remember reading that she had tickets to a Chuck Berry concert, and she almost went and, like, didn't record this because she, like, thought that this was gonna suck, and she thought that this was, like, a flop, and she did it, like, 3 different times, and she thought that everyone hated her. So she was like, this fucking sucks ass. Like, I hate
literally
this.
me.
And then she saw the record in the record store, and, like, she was credited on it. She's like, okay, I guess this is cool. And then sued them, I guess.
Love. Yeah, but when you get to the iconic part, that's when I was like, oh, this is a song that's used in edits all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why I know it. Now everyone knows what side of Instagram I'm on. And then I was just like, why can't we add any lyrics? Like, it was actually starting to get to me at this point. I need words.
I think you should just honestly deem this album as instrumental. With a hint of dialogue.
I didn't know that going in, though, so I got really pissed. I was like, I don't want to be doing this right now. Like, I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Maybe you should write lyrics for it. That'd be a nice challenge.
I don't think I should touch Pink Floyd.
I think that if you did, you'd have to be on a lot of LSD.
I'd have to be on a lot of LSD.
And have a little bit of schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And then you could do it justice, like, a little bit. You know?
But I'm coming for you, Dark Side of the Moon.
Right. I think I get so excited when I hear this song in public. Like,
really?
You don't hear this song a lot. And
well, because there's just instrumental.
Exactly. And there's some old man or some really cool teenager that was in this Target that was like, I'm gonna play Great Gig in the Sky. And
imagine going from, like, Butter by BTS to the Great Gig in the Sky at Target.
There's some shuffle going on in this playlist, and it was weird. I don't know.
I love the Target playlists, personally.
But I heard
think
it
they're
and I was
iconic.
like, why are we playing this? But I'm not mad, but why are we playing this? Whatever. I just, like, I love that you can just feel, like, the overall, like, mess of the emotions and the terror and, like, the fear in her voice.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, you don't hear that often, and I think she really did her job.
Yeah.
You know, like, she really did it really, really well, and I think it's iconic for a reason.
Yeah.
I love the way the voice blends with the instruments, where you almost, like, forget the instruments are even there. Hashtag chef kiss. I gave it a 4.
Okay. I mean, it is an iconic song. It's just, like, I wouldn't ever put it on myself. But if I listened to it, I'd be like, okay.
I'd put on this entire album.
Okay.
Number 6, Money.
I really like the beginning of this one with the money, sound effects, the coins, the cash box. Like, I thought that was really cool. I also really like the guitar on this one. They do, like, this really cool shaky moment that I, like, don't know how I would ever replicate, but, like, whoever's majoring in music, like, please let me know how to do that, because I want to know.
They have friends at Belmont that you can ask.
So, to all my Belmont friends who are listening to this, hopefully, please tell me how they do that. And if you need me to pinpoint exactly where it is in the song, I can do that for you. There was a very consistent beat throughout the thing, but each instrument got its own strong beat. which was really cool. I really like that. There's lyrics, thank God. It's funky. Also, the drum strong beats and the vocal strong beats match up, so it gives it that kind of like impact, which I liked. There's a sax solo, which like we all know I'm a sucker for brass instruments, so like that was really good. Then there's kind of like the switch up, and there's a drum fill going into the switch up, which I really liked. Then the guitar solo transitions into something else. I just like that they really like, if you were to do this live, this is the song you would use to introduce everyone in the band, because everyone kind of got their own little solo.
Yeah.
Which I really, really enjoyed. And you get to hear each part of the band, including the vocals, which, like, holy crap. It's a new thing for them. I'm so proud.
Right. That's okay.
No, but I was really excited to hear more, like, singing on this song. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I really like this one.
I really like Roger's voice. I think it's great. You know, it's kind of just about pursuing money and leading to selfishness and emptiness and ultimately a dark side.
So emo.
Right. Honestly, yeah. Low-key it is.
They were emo before emo was a thing.
I mean, the album is life and death. And I said it earlier, but I think to say money isn't an important part of it, like of your existence and of life and death, it's just to not understand the state of our world. I get so excited when I hear this song. Like, I think in the cash sounds and stuff like that, it was made in a very intricate way that I don't care to explain right now, but look it up. It was great. Like, they cut holes in pennies and shit, and
interesting.
It was cool. So read about it, because I'm not gonna tell you because it's long. I think the bass line is amazing. The walking bass line, you don't hear that a lot. And I personally have never really heard it in a song before, or at least like you could hear it, you know. And I loved that. It's great. I think, like you said, all of the instruments, you can hear them all. They have their own shine. I think it's absolute gold. Great idea to bring sax in. Brass instruments. They just upgrade a song. They upgrade it immediately. Like, you could think that it's like a one, boom, there's like a trumpet in there.
No, and it like it's I love a good brass instrument.
It also perfectly blends, which I know they all do, but this one really does with us and them. Like, oh my god, I was listening to this and I was like, wow, this is insane, and this is great. I gave it a 4.5.
I want to talk about that music video for Hot Sec. I don't know if they came up with it. I'm gonna give them credit for it anyways. They're very smart. This band is very smart, and I love when musicians are smart, because, you know, most of the time people who make music are not seen that way. But the music video is very literal, which I like.
Well, yeah.
When they say something, they show it. But it's also this like huge metaphor. At least that's how I saw it. I was like, this is like you said, like, money is a huge part of life. Like, if you don't think about money daily, unless you're like, you know, 10, like if you're a child, I don't care. But if you're over the age of probably like 16 and you're not thinking of money daily, like, you need to rethink your life.
I love that it shows like every part of it.
You know,
it shows like
that's what I wrote down.
The private jets and stuff, but it also shows like the factory lines, you know, and like it shows luxury cars, but then also like, you know, an assembly line. Like, it's just like different parts. And
it's like gambling, but also like working your ass off to make money. Or like they show Wall Street, they show
stock exchange.
Like betting on racehorses and like the jewelry and stuff. Like, it's literally all sides of money. And some of the things I was like, I've actually never thought of it this way before, you know? Like, the music video kind of blew me away. I was like, this is really cool. And you get to see the same scenes of money kind of like clinking every 5 seconds. And the spinning coin, which, I don't know. The music video, I think, is probably my favorite thing I got to experience on this album. So, there you go.
I think Us and Them is next. Us and Them is very interesting.
It's so long.
It dates from 4 years before the album's release.
Which is so long.
I know. But they were commissioned by the director Michelangelo and Toini.
Sure.
I think that's wrong.
Toini?
He looks like Toini. Look, Antowini. It looks like it. A-N-T, which is ant, and then O-N-I. Ani. Or something.
Anthony?
But then it also says O-N-I. O-N-I. Antonini? Antonioni?
Yeah?
Antonioni?
I don't
That
know.
sounds right. Okay, yeah, that.
Is he Italian? Sounds like an Italian
I
name.
mean, his name is Michelangelo. Hello.
That's fair.
But they wanted that guy Antowini. He wanted to get Pink Floyd to create a soundtrack for his movie, Zabriskie Point. That is what the film is called.
Who is this man?
I don't know, but Antowini made Zabriskie Point. It's a 70s drama about a clash between the police and a group of protesters. An agent is killed. A young man is found guilty of the murder and manages to escape in a stolen plane.
We're really winning here.
And lands at Zabriskie Point, which is like, it's a island or something.
That's insane. Rendezvous Point. Zabriskie Point.
I mean, what? I'm actually gonna look up this director. He's Italian.
Told you.
He's dead.
Of course. He's probably shot after he made a movie called Zabriskie Point.
We need to move on from Zabriskie Point.
Do you want me to talk about what I thought about this song?
Yeah.
Okay. If there's more dialogue, thank you. What was his name? Richard?
Yeah, Roger.
Roger.
Well, there's also Roger and Richard.
Richard and Roger, thank you for the dialogue. The organ is really cool. It's very different. I don't think I've ever heard an organ on a rock album.
Mm-hmm.
I said this earlier. I do not mind long songs, but they have to keep my attention. And most of the time that's with lyrics and vocals. And they apparently have something against that. So I got a little bored. I really like the sad sounding sax though. Also, please say that 3 times fast. Sad sounding sax.
Right.
And honestly, like, I would put this on in the background of something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I was just cleaning, I'd be like, oh, this is a good album to, like, not pay attention to.
Right.
I don't mean that as an insult, but, like, you know.
I looked it up. It's Antonioni.
What?
Antonioni.
Antonioni.
Yeah, so it's Michelangelo Antonioni.
You know who I think he would act like? The wedding planner from Father of the Bride. Like Martin Short's character. That's who he would act like.
Yes!
Frank.
I agree.
That's okay. There's also a switch up in the song which I really like, and they bring in this like huge like chorus, like it's like choir vocals, which I also really liked.
Yeah, it's all of the harmonies coming together.
Yeah,
but like it makes the melody. I love it.
It's really good.
And I think with the women's voices on top, I think it makes for an amazing sound.
Yeah. But I kind of just got bored because it was so long, and it low-key started to put me to sleep at one point. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
It's great that you say that, because I read an article that said, quote, "It's a great example of the music and the lyrics combining to create emotion."
Yeah, that emotion is called sleep.
Right. Okay, well, you know, I think it's great. I think I could agree more. I think it's the kind of song that I would listen to if I was either going through a breakup or falling in love. No in between.
Okay.
I think it's jazzy, which is a switch up.
Yeah, it's different.
It's very flowing, and it feels really, like, sweet. It's melancholic, which I like. I feel like I would play this at a funeral, which I don't know if is a good thing or not.
I don't know.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
I thought it was worthy.
Yeah.
Any color you like?
Again, like the guitar. I like that they do, like, very different guitars on each one, because I feel like some rock albums, it's just electric guitar and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're definitely using a pedal in this one, because the guitar sound is, like, distorted in a way, which I really like. I love a good pedal. I love a good guitar pedal. I think they're so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very, like, cool synth in this one as well. It's, again, giving kind of more of a sci-fi vibe.
I think, can we just talk about, I know I say this, I've said this like 500 times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Literally, the transition for this was so
Yeah,
good.
no, the transition for this one was
God, it was
really
insane.
good. It was really good. It's another instrumental track, which, like, okay.
But it's like a psychedelic instrumental bridge.
No, yeah, and I said the production and the effects on the instruments are cool, and it gives it a different vibe. So the fact that it's instrumental, you're still getting something new, even though it's the same thing that they've been doing.
You know, the band actually called it, quote, a colorful brain massage.
I need these men to stop doing drugs.
So if you were on LSD and listened to the song, you'd probably think it's a colorful brain massage, like Roger Waters said.
But the tempo like changed, but also didn't, which I thought was cool because I was kind of sitting there like, is this a different tempo than before? And I think it was.
Yeah.
And it's shorter, which, like, thank God, because I could not have taken another 7-minute song. I gave it 2 out of 5.
Okay. I think it's funky as hell.
Yeah, it is.
Getting down on the Saturday Night Fever LED disco dance floor with a disco ball above me. Kind of funky as hell. Oh my god, 100% I played this at the club. I will be getting down. Like, I
love that.
Stone cold sober, getting the fuck down on this LED dance floor.
We need to go to a club.
Right.
Maybe when we're, like, of age, but, like...
Yeah.
We need to find a
this
club.
song kind of gives the illusion of choice and false freedom offered by society. So it's deep. It originated from the phrase about buying a product. It symbolizes consumers having options in any color that are essentially the same blue. It actually comes from a road manager named Chris, who used to tell shoppers that they could have any instrument in any color you like. Only one was available. Literally brass. Literally hello.
Love.
Like wood.
You know?
But yeah, whatever. I give it a 3. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Not enough to give it a 4, but this next song is like my favorite song ever. I love this song so much.
We were texting last night, and she goes, hold on, I love this song. Like, not even in the same room. You were like, hold on, I love this song. I was like, what song is it?
No, I have to pay attention. Brain damage. It's so good.
Another clean transition. The lyrics on this one were very good, and this one was more of a traditional song, which I really, really liked. But it's also more simple than the last one. It was very kind of pulled back. And it does kind of pick up, but it still stays like the actual instrumentation of it all stays very simple. Again, love the backing choir. Love when any musician brings in a choir, because I was in a choir, so I love choral sounds. When they said the album title, it was so satisfying. Because I feel like sometimes that can be very choppy and almost like, oh, we have to put in the album title or something, like something like that. But the way they did it, I didn't see it coming, so they said it and I was like, oh, I kind of got chills. And the song is really dark.
Yep.
If you listen to the lyrics, the song is really dark. But I think that keeping the production very simple, it makes you kind of tune out the message almost, because you're just enjoying the song. And I also like that they don't do traditional songwriting structure, even though I have literally been crapping on them this whole time because they haven't been singing. But none of these songs are traditionally made, which I think is also different and also very cool, and it makes them stand out. I really did enjoy this song. I gave it a 3 out of 5. And this is the only song I'd be happy to listen to outside of this. So,
it's about mental illness and alienation and pressures of fame. It's obviously inspired by the mental decline of the former frontman Syd Barrett. The lyrics kind of highlight the detachment from reality and the inhumanity of treating mental patients, and the sense of solidarity with the quote-unquote lunatic. So it's about Syd Barrett, which R.I.P. I think it's giving me Bowie vibes, this song. Yeah. I feel like if Bowie were to record vocals, I'd be like, yeah. This feels like it.
Makes sense.
It feels like a lullaby kind of, which I've said before. Roger could sing me to sleep. His voice is beautiful. Yeah. I think it's kind of a blend of traditional rock instruments and also a lot of experimentation. a Leslie cabinet, which I like clocked it, but then I looked it up. So like, trust me, I wasn't like, oh my god, Leslie cabinet, I know that what that is. But I clocked it and I was like, oh my god, I've heard this before on Hot Sauce Committee Part 2 from the Beastie Boys. So I know ball, trust. And I was like, oh my god, it's like a harmonizer for all of those textural sounds, but it's like, they call it like a swirling speaker. So it's like a whoosh, kind of. You know, if you ever heard the whoosh in the song, that's the Leslie cabinet.
Love.
So I love that they put that in. That is not in any songs nowadays at all. And in the 70s, it wasn't really used that much. So, it's like the didgeridoo, you know.
I love the didgeridoo. I
think the percussion is amazing with all the bells and the organs. Organs as in our body, but whatever. I think it's really cool, and I gave it a 4.5.
Nice.
Which it's edging towards a 5.
I thought you would have given it a 5, honestly.
I wanted to, but I don't think that, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I don't know that it deserves a 5.
I think whenever I rate something, like, a 5 out of 5 for this podcast is so sacred, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I think I've only rated, we didn't release this episode, but the Gaga episode, which will be coming out at some point.
The Gaga, you should do it, like, after this.
I'm gonna do it the week of finals.
The Gaga episode is, like Loverfest. Like, it's, like, the Lost.
Yeah. But the 5 out of 5 is very sacred, and I think I gave it to some of the BTS songs last week.
I gave it to like almost all the Beastie Boys songs.
Yeah, so it's not as sacred for you. I'm kidding.
Right. Our last song, Eclipse.
I loved Eclipse.
Yeah.
I really, really like this song.
Great outro.
I think it's a fantastic outro. It's one of the best we've heard. This semester. Like,
you've said the intros and outros make or break your album. And this one's really good on it.
The intros and outros are so important because it's the first thing and it's the last thing you're gonna hear. It has the most impact. Everything in the middle you can completely forget about. I love the beginning of it. It's a lot bigger, more spacious than some of the other songs have been, and there's more layers to it, which I really like. It's another kind of deep one, but it's one that you don't really actually listen to the message unless you were actually like sitting there like, oh, I have to, analyze what this is talking about, which my brain kind of does automatically, but it's okay. And it's just like, it's the ending is so impactful because it's so different, yet also the exact same to what they've been doing, because there's so many layers, there's so many things happening. There's this huge fade out and it goes back to the heartbeat, which is how it started, which is so sick in my opinion. Like, when the fade out started happening, because the fade out happens like a minute before the track actually ends, and like the fade out started happening, and I was kind of sitting there, I was like, oh, they're gonna do something. I was like, knowing these guys, knowing what I've been listening to so far, they're gonna do something. And it went back to that heartbeat, and it just slowly faded, and I was like, this is so good. It's like, I love this. I gave it a 3.5.
Record your album on LSD.
Right.
It'll be a great album. It's kind of like a thematic summary of the entire album and the exploration of human experience, madness, and mortality. It's kind of just like showcasing beauty and harmony, and this light that is constantly overshadowed by all the dark forces like greed, conflict, and mental strain. And ultimately, it just like concludes that life is defined by its contradictions.
Yeah.
I genuinely forgot I was listening to a different song. Whenever I was like, oh, is it time to listen to Eclipse? I was like, the fade out had happened and it was ending. I was like, oh shit, I have to re-listen to this.
That's
this is insane. Yeah, so I was like, wow, that's wild. I love that the harmonies like join in with you as you're listening to the song.
Yeah.
Peak.
It's so good.
There's no chorus, which is something interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it works.
It does.
Which I can't say for a lot of other albums, but
yeah,
this one works, trust. It goes back to kind of like the heartbeat, as I said, you know. And I think that I just don't think we're putting enough like love onto the fact that you could literally loop this album and it will keep going. That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's amazing. That's genius. Literally genius. More, our rocket scientists need to be on LSD. Because what is this shit? Like, this genius.
I want to know if they were actually like this sober, and this is just a heightened version of their, like, thought process of how it could be, or if it's like, because you know some people when they're on drugs they become completely different people, or they're just a heightened version of themselves. So I want to know if they were a heightened version of themselves, or if they were like actually dumb as rocks like in real life and then just like became freaking musical geniuses like on this album. Like
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll have to ask.
We're gonna have to ask our close personal friends, Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Hey, text us and let us know. Okay?
Yeah.
Just hit us up. Overall, what would you give the album out of 10?
Okay, I gave it a 5. Because I think they're very smart as musicians. I'm gonna give them that. I think they're very smart as musicians. I think the transitions in the album are incredible. I think they're very good at the rock and roll LSD thing. It's not my personal taste. And if I were to listen to a rock album, it probably wouldn't be this one. I listened to like Queen or something.
Yeah. Do you want to guess what I rated mine?
Did you give it a 10?
No.
Okay, good.
I gave it a 9.
Okay.
I think it's so good. Oh my god.
It's much more your speed than it is mine.
If anyone in the entire world told me that they did not like this album, like, at least you could say that it's like great.
It's not that I didn't like it, but
like,
it's one of the best
hate
albums of all time.
Yes.
It's just not my personal taste.
But if anyone ever would come up to me and be like, "Oh my god, I hate this album."
Yeah.
I think I would actually shoot you with a gun. I would shoot you dead with a gun.
That's why I didn't say anything last night to you, because I didn't want to give off the wrong impression.
Like,
because will I listen? If you were to put on this album and be like, listen to it, I'd skip 70% of the songs.
I think I literally texted you last night. I was like, if you ever tell me that this is bad.
Marley and I the night before episodes, we like threaten each other sometimes.
I was like
full threats.
Let me actually read this off because it's insane. I was like to death with your family.
Yeah, you were coming.
I literally
at me.
I said, like, I can't comprehend how someone can hate these songs. They're all beautiful with instruments and lyrics. Like, if you don't like them, I've deemed you a bad person, and your music taste is even worse.
I'm literally sitting in my room, and I'm like, oh my god, she's gonna hate me. She's gonna hate me after this album. So that's, like, if you didn't tell me that, I would have said a lot more things about this that you probably wouldn't have liked. But the fact that you told me that, I did throw in the fact that I mean, here's my thing about music. I will always be objective when it comes to music. I will always look at it from a lens of, technically speaking, is this good? Not, do I enjoy it personally? I do a little bit of both. But when you look at this album, technically speaking, it is incredible. It is so good. It is, like, genius at times. Would I listen to it again? Probably not. And when I wrote down my playlist, I literally wrote probably not.
Right. I said the entire album.
Right. What were your top 3?
Number 1, Brain Damage, obviously. Number 2 is Time, and number 3, Breathe in the Air.
Okay.
Cheers.
My number 1 is Eclipse, my number 2 is Money, and my number 3 is Brain Damage. Should I talk about next week?
Yeah.
All right. Next week is Country Week, which...
Ew. Gross.
I was thinking about this last night. I think each one of the albums we've done thus far has connected to at least something else that we've done. You know? Like, we've had a lot of 70s, we've had a lot of 80s, we've had a lot of psychedelic, synthy pop stuff. We have not done... And, I mean, I know we did Lumineers. Nothing is like this country album that we're gonna do. I'm really excited about it. We're doing This One's For You by Luke Combs. There's a song on this album, and I think if I were to rank like my top 20 songs of all time, I think it'd be in there.
Right.
I really like country music. Y'all are gonna see my like Texas side of me come out, because I really do like country music. I think it's like one of my guilty pleasures, which I know people aren't saying anymore, but like, I really, really like country music. I think this album, it kind of reminds me of like summer and the feeling of like, you know, being free, having that like independence.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like he's like 40. And I think he talks about like his wife on this album, which I know you don't particularly like. It's very, I don't know. But
I don't like wives. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you don't like people who are in love. I'm kidding.
Right.
I don't think Marley's gonna like it. I'm gonna say that right now. I don't think you're gonna enjoy it. If you, I don't know, maybe you'll like one of them. If you don't like when it rains it pours, I'm gonna be really upset. But yeah, I think it's perfect that we're doing this now because we're kind of starting to get into warmer weather. So I think that the mood outside is gonna fit the mood of the album. I haven't listened to it cover to cover. I've only listened to a couple songs of it. So I'm excited to kind of dive into that, and I can't wait.
How many do we have left?
We have, including next week, we have 4.
Oh my god.
We have Country Week, Rap Week, 80s Pop Week, and then Blues Week.
This is insane.
We have like a stacked lineup.
This is
for the last 4.
No, yeah, you guys are gonna love.
Yeah, I'm like, these last 4, I'm like so excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Because all 4 of them I haven't listened to cover to cover, but they're all so iconic.
Yeah.
And we're just going to say that because that leaves you on the edge of your seats. I'm also excited for next semester when we have our own radio show. And we can actually
shout out Maggie.
Thank you, Maggie. And we're going to, I mean, I have a lot of ideas for changes that we can make.
Like, we'll still be, like, are we still going to be posting on Spotify?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll still be on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah.
But we'll also be with, like, other people.
WIUX.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah, thanks for listening. I am so excited for Country Week.
I'm not.
Marley, you're going to have so much fun. Don't even worry. Okay? It's going to be so much fun. All right, see you next week. Yay!